Hello, all you hardcores out there. How you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We're just waiting for Richard to log in. Let's see if he's going to log in. Still, here we are. Here's Richard. There you go. Hello, Richard. How you doing?
Hey mate, can you see me?
Yeah. Well, I can see your picture. Yeah. So we're sorted, are we?
Just one sec. See if I can turn my camera should be on. So
Anyway, I can hear you, mate. It doesn't matter about that. How you doing? You all right? What's weather like?
yeah, I'm good. How are you?
All right. You're always in another country. You're living it large.
I
You mean
am,
the
but
big
I'm
one?
on holiday this time. Is it? Can you see video now?
Yeah. Charlie Big Spuds, I'm going to call you Rich now from now on.
No, just a well-deserved break, mate.
So, how's the training going?
How's my training going?
Yeah, how's your training going? You've been
It's going.
training,
It's
haven't you?
consistent. It's consistent, Ross.
Yeah,
Consistent in that I only go now and again.
good man. Well, you look like you're back on form. Ben Shalom, he's pulled plug on. It's Big Freeze. Oh, he's showing guns up again, lad.
Guns out, bud.
It's Big Freeze. As he froze.
No, I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. As Big Freeze froze.
I think internet connection is a bit crappier. Sorry about that.
No problem. Can you hear me now, mate?
No, I can hear you, mate. Just can't. If you can't see me, it's because the internet connection is a bit
No, I
weak.
can see you, mate. I can see you. You got
Okay, good.
sunglasses on. Sunglasses on. You're looking the business. Black shirt.
Yeah, I've got the old Tom Fords on,
Yeah.
rocking the Tom Fords.
It's Big Freeze. It's Big Freeze. What do we call him?
Big praise. You're Easter egg guy.
My what? My what?
You said Easter egg last time you talked to me about
Oh
him.
yeah,
Big
I can't
Easter egg.
decide whether to call him Giant Caramac Easter egg or It's Big Freeze. What do Porky followers think? As he froze from Fabio.
Um, Listen, we talked about this again. We talk about things all the time, but we did say at the time that they'd want to return on the investment, and that's what they're doing. I think somebody said it on your channel the other week, might have been you, but
Yeah.
they're not going to they're not just going to dive in and throw money at it with worried that he might come unstuck. It could be a 50-50 fight. I think that Wardley probably is dangerous to him for about 5 or 6 rounds because he's fast and he's powerful. He's a big, strong lad, and he's got no fear yet because he's not been put under caution in a real fight. Might have been done in sparring, but so I think Fraser probably would do him over
Well,
later rounds. But I think for 4 or 5 rounds, he's dangerous.
well, obviously somebody thinks he won't, though, don't they? Because they pulled him out, haven't they?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I think that they've pulled him out because I think Wardley's going to be dangerous for him.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. For 5 or 6 rounds, I think that Wardley's going to be really dangerous for him, and they don't risk it just yet, and they don't want to lose that. Oh, do they?
Yeah, yeah. Do you think it's possible that it's promoter beef? Hey, do you
Sorry,
think
mate.
it's possible?
I've got the wife and the mother-in-law off for a walk now, so they're just walking around the back of the camera. So
All right then. You've got mother-in-law there, mate. The old outlaw.
yeah, we've flown her over for a few days.
Yeah, you fly me over.
You want to come?
No, I'm not a flying man. I don't like planes, me. I'm not keen. You love them, don't you? You drove, haven't you? Drove, haven't you?
Drove this time, yeah. It's been absolutely fantastic. Weather's been gorgeous.
Did you set roof
And we
on?
wanted to do it last year, didn't we? But we brought the daughter last year, didn't we? So we had to bring big car, and this time we've had top down all the way here. So it's been fantastic. Very lucky. We're very lucky.
Yeah, you work hard though, Richard, didn't you, lad?
Well, I work.
No. So Ben Shalom, are they going to out him at Sky and put Dennis and Mick Hennessy in charge?
No, but I love Mick Hennessy to be in charge. I'd like Dennis to be on the camera more because he's value for money. He's got more personality than Ben Shalom has. In fact, Dennis has got more personality in his little toe than Ben Shalom has.
Yeah.
And he's got loads of experience. Ben's still learning. Ben could do with somebody like Dennis to help him, to be honest. But yeah, he's got no personality, has he, Ben? I'm not saying he's not bright. I think he is quite bright, but I'd love to see Mick Hennessy in there. Dennis in charge.
When you look at though Ben Shalom's record so far with Sky, he's rubbed everybody up wrong way. He was grovelling like a little girl to Billy Stone, Joe Saunders on phone. I've always looked up to you, Billy. I don't want to fall out with you. Getting it all that. And he's like some grovelling little snotty little kid who bounced into boxing like Bean and they just look so uncool. And he's starting to annoy me, this Ben Shalom character. Annoying me.
Yeah, I get it. But if you think back, who does he remind you of?
He reminds me of Eddie when he first started.
Exactly right. Bouncing in,
Self-entitled.
Back for his dad, rubbing everybody up wrong way.
Yeah. Self-entitled, that's what it is, mate. Self-entitled, and he's just doing what he wants.
Yeah.
Doing what he wants.
Yeah, it feels like all entitled people.
Well, I think that
he's got his parents behind him, and he's got the financial might of Sky behind him, so he feels as though he can get away with a lot. So I think that's how it's playing out. But let's see where he is in 10 years. Hopefully he's where Eddie Hearn. Not hopefully, but maybe he's where Eddie Hearn is. Maybe he's not. Are we bothered? No, as long as boxing is in the right place, that's all we're bothered about. So let's hope he learns, and the steep learning curve is going through it, and it ends up where he ends up. In 10 years, 15 years time, hopefully if me and you are still around, we're talking about this now, and we're talking about Eddie Hearn in the same vein as Bricktop. And we're talking about Ben Shalom, it's the same vein as Eddie Hearn. Who knows? History has a way of repeating itself, doesn't it?
Well, it remains to be seen, doesn't it? It remains to be seen, but I don't think Sky going anywhere. I mean, Eddie's got to be sat at home now, laughing his balls off, offloading Lawrence the Saucer Coley, pussy in a spliff, and who's the other lunatic who all he's done in 17 fights is grow a beard and now he's shaved it off. Boazzi. That's it. He's won a British. That's it.
Boazzi. Yeah. Well, boring, Boazzi.
Yeah.
Boring a Coley. You know what I mean? A Coley showed us some promise 3 or 4 fights ago. But, of course he's laughing his nads off. He's just thinking, I've invested something in potential. It's not paid off. It's not working out. Fine. Eddie Hearn is in a situation now, I think, where boxers are coming to him, aren't they? I don't mean like on a contract deal. I'm talking about on a, we want to be on a show. They've got DAZN and they've got Matchroom behind them. Who can pay its most money? Who can organise? Who's got the experience? Who's got the contacts? And at the moment, the promoters that have got the actual massive contacts and relationships from a British point of view, are Bricktop and Eddie, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but if you look at the Sky situation, if Shalom's gone, Eddie and Bricktop can't go back there, can they? So who does that leave?
No, but I think Sky will give him a little bit more rope and see if he hangs himself. I think that what Ben has got at the moment that Mick, apart from Huey, and obviously Huey left Sky last year or 18 months ago, however time flies, isn't it? I can't remember, but a year ago or so. What Ben has got, he's forging a partnership that Sky get along with for whatever reason.
Well,
for
it
whatever
looks to
reason,
me like he's
Mick and
just,
Dennis haven't got that relationship.
well, he's a squeaky front man. But has Bean got to take some blame in all this? Because Bean was headhunting people for the position. I mean, he's got to take some flack for it. But he's over the hills and far away, isn't he?
I don't know what's happened to him. I honestly don't know. Where has he gone? What's
Well,
happening
people
to
are
him?
saying he's in treatment, isn't he, for depression and gambling addiction. So, let's wish him all the best if that's true. But if he does come back to
Yeah,
Sky,
if that's what's happened,
yeah,
that's
if he comes back though, he's got to take some flack for hiring Ben Shalom because it looks to me like he doesn't know what he's doing.
he's never going to take it. If he's actually had some treatment, and that is really his situation, you're never going to see him get any flack, are you? Because in today's world, it's going to be, you can't give it that guy any criticism, otherwise he'll relapse and he'll go back to the old roulette.
Yeah. Did you watch that?
So that'll never happen. He'll never take flack again. If he's been treated for anything, he's never going to take it.
You wouldn't have thought they'd set Bean back on if he's got gambling problems because he'd be vulnerable, wouldn't he, to the Sharks in boxing, wouldn't
he? Yeah, but I think again they've got to show that they've got some sort of diversity policy where they. I'm not laughing about diversity policies. I'm just saying the world's mad sometimes, and I think that in a way they'd be saying, "All right, we've taken him back on, we're supporting him." It'll be one of those situations. I could see it happening.
What, being the poster boy for TV presenter,
welcome back, Bean.
Who never had a bet in their life till they got in amongst the riffraff.
Yes.
If it could happen to Adam, it could happen to you.
Yes, you can see it, can't you?
I can see Bean getting to number 1 on top of Pops. Don't bet. It'd be something like that, won't it? With Bean there bouncing up and down in background with a baseball cap hat on. You know, Johnny Nelson on duet with him or something.
It's a good job your demographic is people our age and people who are mad on boxing because nobody else knows what Top of the Pops is, I'm telling you. Top of the Pops, brilliant.
Being on Top of the Pops. Could you imagine being on Top of the Pops, Richard?
I could imagine being on Top of the Pops, and I could imagine Big John in the background, some sort of collaboration in the background. He's Top of the Pops doing some sort of rap, and Big John's going pop, pop in the background.
Yeah, pop, pop, bang. What do you think to Pop, pop, bang's performance last night? Hey.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say.
He's there or thereabouts. So Pop, pop, bang.
I didn't know what was going to happen last night in regards to fight. I wasn't that interested, but I did know for sure if anything was going to happen, there was going to be some sort of performance between Tommy Fury and KSI. If you could have put a bet on anything happening that night, it would have been that one.
Well, listen, Richard, I've been asked to play this, so can you listen to this? It's just over 3 minutes, mate.
This is the third account of a third Fury talking much shit, or talked much shit, but didn't back up anything. Okay? As we look at Tommy Fury, okay? Look at Tommy Fury. Just for a second. Look at Tommy Fury. Allowed Billy Joe Saunders' father to get shoved straight to the ground. In this case, John Fury's son was fighting along with his entourage. He was sitting out there kind of, acting like a watered down version of security. Your son is just punch behind his head to his ear, to his face, and everywhere else that other guys did attack it. And he's going like, where are the aggression bit? I didn't see it. I didn't see John Fury get it in. I didn't see him punch anybody. I just saw him kind of look fucking decrepit. What's going on here? So let's see what to be. Okay, we didn't see any of that stuff. I didn't see John Fury get buck wild and crunk and aggressive. Just a shit talker, and then when conveniently you're fooling. aggression. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm talking about. You know, and so that's the major thing. He let Tommy Fury get just pushed off, which security's supposed to do. We just explained that. But he let him get pushed off. You know what I mean? And John wasn't fighting one way or the other. He was trying to be somewhat of a damn mediator of some sort. That's not the gypsy way as far as I'm concerned. That looked nothing like a fight that John Fury was involved in. He was right in the heart of where that fight was taking place, and he did nothing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if you're that kind of guy, if you're that mild, mellow fellow, just be that mild, mellow. Don't talk shit like, and you know you're not. It's time for you to do it. You did. You acted like some type of, oh, let's be civilized type situation type fellow. When you've been preaching for the last 4 years or so far as I've heard from John Fury, that, hey, I will do this, I will do that. But now we see today, you didn't do jack. Okay? So don't be surprised if you see Tommy Fury, Idris Virgo, getting in the ring together, because they did make a commotion in this arena. You guys tell me what you think about Tommy Fury, Idris Virgo going toe to toe. It wasn't a near brawl, at the
There you go. What did you think to that? That Yank, he's a legend, isn't he?
Well, he's not daft, is he? He's got it. He's got it.
He's got big old pop bang weighed up, hasn't he?
Listen, hey, listen. We know the score, don't we? I mean,
yeah.
It's a situation where he's got a book out, and I can't wait to buy that. I'll be queuing up outside Waterstones for that book.
Will you? I want to know who's going to play 1992 Irish champion.
I think that.
In film.
No. I mean,
who's going to play him? Who's going to play MI5? Who's going to play MI5?
No, I won't be. But I think the situation. He's that guy just been playing. I think he's like sort of hit the nail on the head, hasn't he? Listen, I don't blame John Fury for being mild. I don't blame him for not wanting to get involved. Yeah. He's 50-odd year old. He's done a stretch behind the door. He should be thinking about making money, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think with this guy's got hit the nail on the head is you can't be both. You know what I mean? You can't for this guy who's going to snap 1 second and playing the video with Tyson's locker room where he's saying, if anybody touches me, I'm going to knock him out and all that sort of stuff.
You can't be Dennis the Menace on a Monday and Walter Softy on a Tuesday, can you?
It's the Menace of Walter Softy.
I've been reading brilliant for 4 pence, mate. You can't be Dennis and then Walter day after. Big
Walter Softy. Jeez, man. Brilliant, Russ. Absolutely brilliant. Walter Softy. The Beano. I love it.
You like that one, Rich?
You crease me up. No. I tell you what, though, I'm plugging somebody else's channel. I don't know if it's going to come out because it's been a week since they said it was going to come out, but I'm looking forward to that Peter Fury interview.
Yeah.
Have you seen it on BBTV?
You mean the one where he's talking about when he was in jail and when they got busted with Frank and all that?
Yeah.
Is it out yet?
No, when I looked yesterday, it wasn't. So I was just wondering whether he's had second thoughts or whatever and thought better of it or whatever. But the trailer certainly got a lot of interest, and if it does come out, I'll be very interested to see it. It'll be an interesting one.
If it comes out, it'll bear the truth, and obviously, I'm hoping that if it comes out, that people can say, well, he rose to the top of that, paid the penalty with time and massive fines and lawyer bills, and all aggravation. And he's moved on to gut at top at field in business and in boxing and training.
Yeah, it's been a good story. It's a good story. Yeah, it's a good story. I think he's realised it's just a good story. I think it's a typical, somebody went down the wrong path. You know, they've got some maturity and some experience behind them, and they've used that. He's obviously a smart boy, and he's done some other things, and so it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting watch. And he actually, I'm not sure. I won't presume to give him advice, but if he wanted to make some more dough on top of what he's already got, he could make a lot of money going on the lecture tour or going on talks and talking about that. I'm not saying that's his thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but he could do.
Yeah.
He could make a lot
in life, isn't he? I mean, some
it's just a story. He's just talking about his life.
Well, how it is, like when he's in gym, I'll tell you a simple explanation. He said to one fighter, he said, right, you know, if you were a baby and you touched something that were hot, you wouldn't go touch it again, would you? And he said, no. And so he says, well, why would you put your hand there or something? He was trying to improvise, you know, and get the point across and things like that kind of thing. And
it's right, isn't it? It's like, yeah.
And I've been in other gyms and I've heard trainers, and they all have.
Yeah, it's right, and that's what they do. And it's a good point because yeah, a lot of it's a long time ago, and I've not done anything at any sort of level. But when I got coached a little bit, they got that point across by hitting you in the face. If you don't move your head, there's something coming back at you. Bang, just tip your nose. Not with any aggression. But that's how they got their point across. Yeah. You don't dip. This is what's coming back at you, and it wakes you up. And eventually you think, well, I don't want any more of that. It's not hurting, but it's not very comfortable either. So it gets you into an habit, doesn't it? So
it's methods were good.
Yeah, it's good advice. Yeah, it's good advice. He's not stupid.
But yeah, let's hope if it does come out that it's good. Did that KSI?
No, I think.
Pardon?
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it. I just saw that Tommy Fury bit on YouTube today. I thought that. Sorry, I watched 2 pieces of it. I watched that clip with Tommy, and which I knew would happen, and I also watched the knockout because I saw it on Google that he'd won by knockout. I thought that's interesting because I thought that I didn't have an interest in the fight, but when I saw it happen, I thought, well, that other guy, David Hayes' mate, might be just a little bit too experienced for him, and he might old man him a little bit. Not that he's a boxer himself, but I just mean he's got more experience. And then I saw the knockout, and then I understood because it looked up until that 10 seconds before the knockout, it did look like 2 white collar fighters, and obviously he caught him with the elbow, didn't he? But that's they're the only 2 clips I've seen. I've seen like a total of 3 minutes of that show. So
yeah, well, I've seen it, and it was on DAZN, but I don't hear Tony Bellew, the disappearing man, bigging DAZN up. He usually, whenever there's a DAZN show on, he's got plenty to say. But what I saw last night were men same weight as me 10 years ago, fighting in ring. I looked like that 10 years ago.
Right, well, I didn't see it, mate. So you got people out of shape on there, did you? And
out of shape. They were £400 and £393. 2 men with tits. You've never seen no like it, mate. Honestly, you've never seen no like it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe it.
You know the score. Everybody watching this channel knows the score. It's all about dough, isn't it? It's all about Tony Bellew comes on and he supports his mates. He won't have a bad word said about his mates. I thought, to be honest, I thought that what's his name, Simon Jordan, gave him a bit of an easy ride when he interviewed him. I didn't see all the interview. I watched about 20 minutes of it and then I turned it off because I thought, you're giving him an easy ride here. You're saying some things to him, but you're giving him an easy ride. It gave him a tougher time when he just came on to talk sport.
What you've got to understand is these sports stars, the masters at it now at deflection. The masters, they'll take you down other avenues. If they sense a weakness in you, they'll take you down other avenues. If they don't sense a weakness, right, they'll not come near you. You know what I mean? That's just the way of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, yeah. So actually, I think you're right there about Tony Bellew, because Tony Bellew wanted to talk about football, and as soon as he wanted to talk about football, it distracted Simon Jordan to start
Yeah,
getting
it
to
took him
talk about
down another
himself a
lane.
bit.
Took him down another lane. Do you think I'd have done that? When Dennis tries that with me, I go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Look, hang on a minute, go back up a little bit. He tries it all the time in pubs, restaurants, a lot. I said, no, no, no. That ain't what you said, Ron. Oh, yeah, yeah, well, that was then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
The
I noticed
that Dennis would be a good politician, Dennis. The man,
that. Like I say, as soon as he started talking about football, I thought, hold on. Yeah, yeah, I've spotted that, mate. Anyway, it's not wasn't rocket science to see that.
so Fournier got done with an elbow. Big John Fury and Tommy Fury. Big John Fury stood there like a puffin. Tommy was here rolling around on the floor, took a rabbit punch to the back of the head. What's all that about? Hey, what a melee.
Hey, listen, what I think sound was going on and off with when you were playing that clip. But I think the guy you were playing, I think you referred back to the Canelo fight with Billy Joe Saunders' dad and Tyson.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of. I'm not for 1 minute. I'm not for 1 minute thinking that Tyson wouldn't get stuck into a fight, and if he wasn't heavyweight champion of the world, he won't be knocking people out for fun on the street. I'm not saying that. He's a tough old boy, and we know that. But what that guy was saying is that's not the instinct we. Put it this way. What if Shane there during the Canelo? Was he in the middle of that dust-up in Canelo fight?
Big Shane
I don't think he was.
He?
I would have thought so. Yeah, I think Big Shane would have been able to help himself.
Big Shane would have been flopping them all over you, this in flying bodies. You know, like when Hulk Hogan invaded crowd in Rocky III. Well, that's what I thought was going to happen with Big John. I thought he was going to do an Hulk Hogan and start people spitting. Teeth are flying all over. Teeth. That'll be me, won't it? Teeth have been.
Got my gloves off.
Hold on, mate. Teeth. I thought
Ross, mate.
John Fury were going to wade into the crowd and show us how big a baddie he is. This big leper that lives in Law. I'm him. We're what leper?
Oh, flipping heck. Mate, I were going to use the analogy of Popeye with the 40 Thieves, but nobody would have got that. You know Popeye on the old black and white cartoon?
Yeah. Big John Fury, a big fighting man.
40 Thieves running to him. I was going to use that analogy, but Hulk Hogan with Rocky III, even better, mate, even better.
Give me them belts back that you stole, you bum. That leper joke always brings crowd down in local, you know. You know that film Braveheart? You know that leper in Loft? Him. 200 kilo deadlifts with me Corey. Pop, pop, bang. 140 key on bench. Cold. My mate Bunny can do 140 key, but I don't know if he can do it cold. You know what I mean?
It's heavy. It's heavy. 240 is heavy. That's about my back in my prime. That was about just over 500 on my record.
140.
140.
140 key. That's just a warm up for John Cole.
Yeah, I used to. That's what I used to do back in the day. But I was 22 and 25 and a half stone and training like a madman. So if he can do that, good luck to him, mate. That's better than I can do.
It brings a smile to my face, though, Richard. Big John, you know. Brings a smile.
Yeah, it's funny.
Very funny. Very, very funny, mate. Honestly, that one other day, I'm 6'3", 20 stone. I'm built like Hercules. I've got a giant cock. An hour in the morning and an hour at night on nest. And in the day, I live off the land and train all day. 10-kilometer runs.
He's doing well. An hour on the nest in the morning, in the night. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, then again, he's like 50 odd, so maybe it takes him an hour to get over the line. You know what I mean?
Listen, he's superhuman.
I mean, I don't know, but
he is superhuman. Right, is Canelo being the hunted? Is Canelo being the hunted now?
I think so. I think the last two. And we've not spoke about this. So last two fights, I've not been too impressed. I think he's just getting to that age. I think he's stuck between weights. He's too heavy. He's too heavy for middle, and he's not heavy enough for super middle or for to make a big, to be up against the elite.
Yeah.
And he's certainly not big enough to be a light heavyweight. So he's had an absolutely stellar career. He's undisputed at middleweight, isn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been undisputed. He's had a fantastic career. I think that the thing that'll always haunt him, and he can never take back, is that even when he was up and coming in good shape, he lost against Floyd. And when Canelo was, I won't say at his prime, but almost there, and he got schooled. So I'm not hating on Canelo. I think he's a bit of a legend. I have got my own thoughts about him, and it'd be interesting to have a conversation with Julian about this, because I've got my own thoughts about him. But I don't want to say anything on here, but I have got my thoughts about Canelo. But talent and what he's achieved in boxing, you can't take away. But I think he's just over that. He's just getting over that peak. So I think he's gonna pick his next fights very, very carefully, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think he will. Yeah, and I think he'll swerve Benavidez. Try and pick off a few more Brits or something. Eddie will dig him one out, won't
he? Yeah. Listen. You saw the clip like everybody else did when he fought last of the Smith brothers, and he just walked through and he went next. He knows that people tune in. They'll get behind the Brit. There'll be plenty of pay-per-view buys. But this is a great recipe, isn't it? We've talked about this on text.
Yeah.
Canelo's massive pay-per-view in the States, where it's... Yeah. Canelo's massive pay-per-view in the States, $79.99, $99.99. So people buy him in the States. When he feeds them a Brit, people will buy him in Britain. Yeah. So add those two together, and he's on a bumper payday all the time. Can he fight a Frenchman and get the same pay-per-view? Can he fight whoever and get the same pay-per-view? No. The two biggest boxing nations as regards following,
boxing,
and fanatics and finances are Britain and America, aren't they? Yeah. And it's a match made in heaven, isn't it?
Yeah. Carl Froch's comments on Big Meech. What did you think?
Well, for the last 12, I don't know what's going on, but the last 12, I know. Well, my thoughts are, reading between the lines, is that, Carl thinks the world of his trainer, his ex-trainer, what's his name?
Robert McCracken. Well, best man at his wedding,
Robert McCracken.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might have said that before, Charlie. I didn't know. But what I think is, I didn't know. But my point is that obviously, Carl thinks the world of him. I think he thinks he made a mistake when he changed things around. I think that in hindsight, he should have probably stayed with Robert McCracken, and he should have worked on his mental side of things. And he should have got some of the distractions that he probably had outside of boxing out of the way when he was with him. But it's all right saying that after you've seen his performances over the last 2 or 3 years. It's very easy to look as though he's smart saying that. I think there's some personal reasons behind his comments. He is what he is, and I think that Carl's probably just speaking what he probably thinks is right and what a lot of us are thinking. He's in it. AJ's in it for the money, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this on the last video. He's in it for the money. And when you look back in 20 years, and he's a Lennox Lewis, and he looks back in his career and he says, well, at the end of the day, I won Olympic gold and I won the heavyweight championship twice. That's in the record books, and I'm worth $500 million.
He's not bothered, is he?
That's how it's not bad, is it? So it's very difficult to criticise that career. I think when we talked about this last week,
he'll go down as an heavyweight champion, won't he?
Get to a point where you have. He'll go down as a double heavyweight champion. He'll go down as an Olympic gold medalist. That is fact. So no matter, you can talk about his opponents, you can talk about his losses, you can talk about him being gun shy after a certain amount of losses, but you know, we don't talk about the past greats and talk about, you know, the stuff that they did. We don't talk about Larry Holmes and say, you know, yeah, but he lost against a lot, you know, he lost against a light heavyweight at the back end of his career. We just talk about Larry Holmes' legend, don't we? Which is right. Yeah. But we don't say, yeah, he lost against Spinks, and you know, and I don't think the first fight was a loss, to be honest. But the record books show he lost. But nobody talks about that. You say Larry Holmes, absolute legend, best jab ever in heavyweight boxing. You know, up nearly broke Marciano's record. Blah blah blah. Which is right. That's how we should talk about him. What when we talk about Joshua in 20 years, nobody really will be talking about stuff like that. They'll just be wheeling him out on you know, BBC Sports Post Personality of the Year and saying, oh, here we are, 2-weight world champion, Olympic gold medalist, legend, Anthony Joshua, and that's what it'll be like.
Yeah, yeah, it will. It will. Let's finish off on this then. Tony Bellew and Joe Fournier having a bit of a spat. Have you read it?
No, but if Joe Fournier gets in the ring with Tony Bellew, he's going to get hurt big style. Because well, Tony Bellew is not like he's not a David A. He's not his mate, and a professional boxer with an amateur. It don't matter if he's 10 years past his best. He's going to get seriously hurt. So it should not. If something does come of that, it should not be allowed.
No, it's not on about that. He's saying you're not an expert.
Sorry, go on.
But Joe Fournier said, I respect both fighters for what they have achieved, but in my opinion, Joyce stops AJ as long as he stays with Rob as his coach, as he's not improving at all, only gaining experience and using his natural talent. Congrats to both fighters, but it's a fight I'd like to see. Bellew has gone, yeah, but you're a tit who no one really cares for. Doesn't matter how much dough you throw around, you'll always be a juiced up gobshite who pretended to be a fighter. You're making statements as if you actually have a clue. Do us all a favour, lad, and disappear. So he's piped up. Fournier, listen to this. Mr. Bellew, if you want to keep running your mouth on Twitter like a pretend big man and pretend family man, I'm going to start telling people what you did when you were in London. The club industry, right, is very small. So if you want to make it personal, I'll bring your old charade down. That were 2018, though. That from Fournier.
Well, I'll guess then that Tony Bellew won't say another word. That's my guess, because if somebody says that, they've probably got a few bullets. So if I had to guess, I'll tell you a story. You know Dana White, who's obviously in charge of the UFC. Yeah. He started having a bit of a spat with one of the ex-UFC heavyweights who never really made it big, but was in the top 10 and blah blah blah.
Seconds, Rich. Go on.
He started to get a bit personal, and this guy said, "Hey, you shouldn't be my Eskimo brother shouldn't be giving me some stick." And that means Eskimo brother, for people who don't know, is that you both had fun with the same woman, and Dana White's married. And after that spat, nothing happened. And I would guess that Tony Bellew will be quiet from now on. That's what my guess is. So let's see.
Okay. Right. Thanks for coming on, Rich. You've been a star.
It's a pleasure, mate. I also have a bit more wine. Next time, this should be a regular thing. I come on with a cup of coffee, usually in a stogie. Right, but I've had a couple of these today. So, right. But anyway.
Peace out. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Have a nice time, mate. And have a nice time with who you're going to see over the hills.
Cheers, mate. Bye. Sorry about the sound today, guys. Sorry about the sound. Great to have Richard on. Peace out.